warm weather, we think of cabins and the rustic look. So here to show us how to bring that home, design duo Colin and Justin. Every time I think you've done an amazing job, you just outdo yourself. So we're talking about, yes, and I love that.
We're not being half-hearted, Tracy.
Yeah, no, you go all the way every time. And rustic is sort of, you've made a name for yourselves in Canada for rustic because you are the kings of cottage country, right? So we want to bring some of that into our homes, and you've got 4 different ways to do it. We're going to start with the first picture.
Absolutely, you know, so we're calling this the rules of rustic. And if you look at picture number 1, now this is a loft that we actually designed, and it's all about timber. Timber on the floor, timber on the ceiling, a barn door, and then a huge, serious piece of heavy metal in the shape of a bed. So look at that there. Now, we actually recreated that look in here in the studio because I think rule number 1 is that you should strengthen your look with timber and steel.
You should. Yes. And you always have to have one really solid kick-off point. And I think the kick-off point, Tracy, for this particular look is this rebarn custom door. Now, I absolutely love this. Now, OK, in the big box stores, you can oftentimes find barn board doors, but you can't find them custom made. And the good thing about a company such as this is they can actually size your portal to fit the aperture. And that's really important because you don't want light bleed. It will reduce the noise. You've really got to think about all of those factors when you're putting together a look. So really robustious, solid timber with these really dramatic metal details as well. And then all set wonderfully on this caster. And it's virtually silent.
You need that right set,
do,
though.
Tracy.
That caster needs to be really, really good and
super
solid
important.
and well installed.
Of course.
Because it's holding a heavy piece of wood,
It is,
right?
and another thing to think about as well when you're installing one of these. Now, obviously, we're doing a TV set here, so we don't have this luxury. But you can get a floor bar, which will retain the bottom of that, which will mean it won't swing out and swing in. And again, that keeps noise to a minimum and keeps light bleed to a minimum too.
Exactly. I mean, the timber element is really important, OK? So if you can, you know, you line your rooms with timber, get some Western red cedar on there, give yourself that wonderful escapist feel. But if you can't, then fake it till you make it.
Yes.
You know, we've got an amazing...
In the bedroom, Colin.
In the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
Exactly. There's nothing phony about us.
No,
apart from this wall. OK, now this is by About Murals, and we love this company because they create these beautiful murals that are just photogenic quality. That looks like the real thing. You expect to see a texture on there, you know, and there actually is a slight texture there that just makes it feel so realistic. OK, so imagine this on one wall, or on every single wall is going to give you the rustic vibe for sure.
This is beautiful. What an easy way to do it.
Exactly.
Right?
Super easy.
And they're also transportable, so should you decide you want to move, you can carefully peel it down. So maybe great in a rental context.
Yes.
If you're one of those people that changes your mind all the time, whip it up, whip it down a few months later, and off you go to your next project. Now, rule number 2, mix the rough with the smooth.
Let's look at the picture first.
Yeah, let's have a little look at the picture, which I absolutely love. This is a kitchen project that we did. And you can see that real mix again, the Western red cedar on the ceiling, the Western red cedar bench at the side, and then that lovely smooth surface. Now, that's a Quartz by a company called Handstone. And we've brought you some examples, Tracy, of Handstone in to look at. Now, these are so visually correct. They really refer to, for example, this guy in the middle here refers to that really kind of lustrous black onyx with the marble flecking through it as well. And you can trim these to size. The good thing about this is it's so trimmable. And you've got to remember, when you're using a Quartz product, your key person, your best friend, is your fabricator, because your fabricator is your maker who will design and cut it to whatever specification you need. In that context, in that kitchen, we waterfalled it around a breakfast bar, and it creates that really slick look.
It's lovely. Okay, Handstone, is that like is it a composite? Is it an actual stone?
It's a quartz, Tracy.
It's
so
a
it's
quartz.
It's a really good value quartz. It's one of the newer companies that are really kind of building the reputation now.
It's lovely because it's not going to be as precious as marble.
Exactly. It's really resilient.
It's going to be resilient. Okay, really quickly, the clock, the beautiful pendants.
You need a couple of pendants. You know, that is essential with the look. Again, it's just getting heavy metal against the timber and giving your room an extra dimension as well. You know, you want to get things that hang down, things that give your walls texture.
Let's take a look at the next picture.
Okay.
Absolutely gorgeous, and then we'll look at the next rule. What would the next rule be?
So the next rule is all about bringing the outside indoors, and this is actually a room in the city where we have a pebble wall. The look of the furniture is all about driftwood. You know, the choice of the soft furnishings. It's really soft and rewarding and escapist, and makes you feel like summer. And I think this kind of encapsulates that. You know, you can see we're actually using another mural again, just to echo that pebble wall. This time we're using brickwork here, but it gives us such a nice kind of soft, chalky kind of background, if you like, to then play these softer timbers against.
And I think it's also interesting because this is a really dramatic, kind of really butch look of wood. This is a slightly softer, slightly more livable look, perhaps, in a city application. These are great for the country. This is also great for the city, but I think this particular this version is a much softer look and perhaps easier for some people to live with. But I always favour this.
You're right. There's something very masculine about that over there. But I like the driftwood, the softness, the light, the light wood textures of this whole thing all mixed matched together. And you've got some glam options there as well, which I think is beautiful.
You've got to get the glam. And the metal's there, there's steel, there's galvanized here as well. So the same elements are there, it's just that the colours have changed.
That's right. Okay, let's take a look at pick number 4 because this, you say, is an absolute must.
It is.
If you're trying to bring the rustic look home, and that is bunk beds.
It's so crucial. Now, this is a bunkie project that we designed for kind of an annex to one of our bigger builds. And we've positioned 4 sleeping areas, which I think is great for kids. Maybe you've got teenagers coming for a party. Now, that was a custom application, so that did cost a bit of money. But we went to IKEA, which doesn't break the bank, great product, well produced, and it will last and last. A simple bunk bed like this, and we've gone for loads and loads of layers. A check here really references that country feel and that big buffalo style, a checked carpet, and then lots of woody details. And again, make it really comfy. When you've got people coming, you want them to feel indulged, so really good quality pillows.
If
you hate them, Tracy, you put your worst linens on, they're scratching all night.
Just this, sleep
they
on
think
this.
they've got hives and they're out of here before you can say pronto.
Exactly. And you know what? Bunk beds are for adults too.
Yes, they
I think we want that escapism, and then you can decide, you can fight over who's the top and who's the bottom.
Like so many of us do. Huge thank you to Bouclair for the clock, the rug, and some of the furniture.